I believe that Toshi is a must-have for my portfolio. Even though that's not financial advice, the only reason is not just because I hypothetically see it going to the price of 2 cents during this bull run, but another reason is because I think that it's only fair to assume that something like this does become a very big narrative. Because just think about why people usually love meme coins. They love it because it's exciting, because it's fun, because it's enticing. But then people have kind of graduated beyond that. They want to look for things that exist in different places. Like, for instance, take a look at people initially loving meme coins on Ethereum. They moved on to Solana. People also love meme coins on, for instance, Avalanche. Now, not to mention, when you take a look at something that's on the rise, what is that? That's the base network. So it's only fair to assume that meme coins on there, much like Toshi, could be this big narrative. And that's why it's a must-have for my portfolio. I love Ethereum meme coins. I love Solana meme coins. I also love meme coins on Avalanche. But I do love me some, base network meme coins. Because think about this, right? When it comes to the base network, it's not necessarily that revolutionary, but people just kind of want to look for the new thing, if that makes sense. It's like getting that new toy, if that makes sense. It's not like it's going to be any better, but sometimes people just want a variation. Think about why the base network is special, even though it's not necessarily revolutionary. The reason being is because a layer 2 by nature, which the base network is, what that does is that it allows Ethereum to be enjoyed while at the same time not having to deal with, the sky-high gas fees and scalability issues. Now, again, this is a formula that's pretty much out there. I mean, there's so many layer 2s out there. It feels like there's just a whole bunch. But then the special thing about the base network is that it's Coinbase's layer 2 network. And yes, I'm talking about Coinbase. So when you take a look at Toshi, being on a place like that holds a lot of value. Toshi is not that revolutionary as a meme coin. Let's face it. Yeah, sure, there's a use case. Like, for instance, you take a look at Toshi tools, which will help quite essentially guide someone towards their journey to be building on the base network. Not to mention, these tools will include a multi-sender, a token locker, a liquidity locker, a token launcher, and even a launchpad too. Not to mention, we take a look at Toshi Mark, which allegedly is basically like a meme coin launchpad, allows, basically anyone to create their own meme coin. Now, again, these features doesn't necessarily mean that Toshi is the best meme coin or anything. It's not too fantastic really in the grand scheme of things, but again, just by existing on the base network, that holds a lot of value. That means something right there. It's like, for instance, being a Solana-based meme coin. Take a look at why Dog with Hat was so popular. Like, for instance, Bonk or Book a Meme. It's not because they were necessarily any different than, like, let's say other meme coins out there, but then because they were on Solana, that was a big push right there. That really created a big narrative for it. So when you take a look at Toshi, yes, there is a pullback, but I haven't given up because when I take a look at something on the base network, I don't think it's going to be bad. Especially right now, there's over 600 million crypto owners, according to Crypto.com research. This bull run isn't going to be bad, in my opinion. I mean, think about why, as this bull run progresses, I think the base network is going to gain more attention. It's because people nowadays, they do love Coinbase, and they naturally love its layer 2 called the base network. Now, the special thing about Toshi is the fact that it's actually named after Brian Armstrong's cat. Brian Armstrong is the co-founder of Coinbase, so it's kind of like this full circle type of moment. Toshi is on the right place, the naming is very fantastic, and I do believe that this could be such a big narrative, but it really is just a waiting game at this point. Sometimes people are impatient, they think it's a boring market, and really in the grand scheme of things, when I first started talking about Toshi compared to right now, it's done way better, right, despite the pullback. However, I get why some people who entered pretty much, near the most recent top, and then they think that, oh yeah, it's bad, but I think the bull run is far from over. I mean, think about why this may be the case, because usually altcoins, as a worst case scenario, they typically peak around a year and a half after a Bitcoin halving event. Now, the last Bitcoin halving event happened back in April last year, so a year and a half from then would mean actually around October this year. That's still plenty of time in my opinion. This is no guarantee though, but I do believe that when it comes to something like Toshi, when a bull run could potentially be this amazing again with over 600 million crypto owners, according to Crypto.com research, more than ever before in history, it's definitely a must-have in my portfolio. Because as the base network gains more attention, as it gains more recognition, it's only fair to assume that people who are, believing in this, right, they're going to be in some cases looking for meme coins. And when it comes to Toshi, this could really just help generate this amazing narrative for it during this bull run, which is why I haven't given up on it. And what am I still doing, by the way? I'm still buying more Toshi. I'm still acquiring any time and income, holding and just waiting, because the way you take a look at it is that Toshi is too good for me to pass up on. It was too good for me back then, but even as of right now still, because if it were to go to the price of 2 cents, that's around a 27x from here. Keep in mind, considering how much Toshi has done, well, I would say in the grand scheme of things, doing an additional 27x, despite the price pullback, doesn't seem so bad. And it's not like reaching the price of 2 cents is even that crazy anyways, because if it were to go to that price, considering current circulating supply, at that point, market cap would be around $8 billion. I mean, come on, right? Dogecoin reached over 80 billion back in 2021. Shiba Inu reached around 40 billion that year. And keep in mind, back in 2021, during the peak of that bull run, there was roughly around 300 million crypto owners. Now there's over 600 million. So pretty much double. If Dogecoin could do that back then, imagine Toshi right now. Now, I'm not saying that Toshi is going to defeat Shiba Inu or Dogecoin, because I don't think it is. But just achieving a glimpse of them seems already very impressive. Because Toshi is relatively speaking a lot lower, just achieving a glimpse of their peak is already very fantastic. Just think about this logically. Can Dogecoin or Shiba Inu do, a 27x in the next 6 to 10 months, let's say? No, it can't do that. This is just the way to take a look at it. What has a higher probability of doing that? Hands down for me, it's going to be something like Toshi, which is why I'm choosing it as one of my foundational pieces when it comes to meme coins in my portfolio, because I don't want to miss out on this bull run. I still believe in meme coins, and the hype is going to come back in again in a massive way. I mean, Bitcoin hasn't reached the price of $150,000 yet. Imagine once it does that, let's say 200,000, and maybe even beyond, this could be a totally different story. As quickly as the sentiment did change in a different direction, right? Because everyone was bullish, then there was a price pullback, and then people are suddenly bearish about Toshi. As soon as that happened, it will be equally as fast, in my opinion, once Toshi does have a good recovery. Now, only time will tell, but really, if I take a look at this is only normal. I mean, a breather is expected. It's like someone running a marathon. Are they going to sprint the whole way through? I don't think so. Much like in the world of cryptocurrencies, when projects pump, it's not like it's just this straight shot in most cases, right? That's not usually how it works. So when I take a look at something like this, it's only fair to assume that, of course, there's going to be a pullback, but then the journey to the top isn't going to be smooth sailing. What I care about is what Toshi could be, let's say, 6-10 months down the line. I could care less about what happens to it next week or the next 2 weeks. Who cares? Even if Toshi, let's say in the next month, did a 5x, I still wouldn't sell any, because I still think there's a ways to go. I mean, again, 2 cents, still around 27x from here. Yeah, I don't see it why as something I should give up on. I think it must be a foundational piece in my portfolio. I really do believe that, because it's too special. It's too interesting. Again, it's not really necessarily revolutionary when compared to other meme coins, but just because it's on the Base network, it's named after Brian Armstrong's cat, again, the co-founder of Coinbase. And again, the Base network is Coinbase's layer 2. This is just too good of a hypothetical opportunity for me to pass up on. Now, no one knows the future exactly, but I'm willing to speculate on this because, instead of me FOMOing into Dogecoin or Shiba Inu, I'd much rather choose this, and that's why I still haven't given up when it comes to Toshi, and it's a must-have for my portfolio. And 2 cents, again, wouldn't surprise me whatsoever during this bull run. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I'll greatly appreciate it. It's only the captain, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace. Bye.